43, should be 50 now, homes that we have cell groups in. These are all pictures from every group that's been meeting this week. You know, and that's all the different homes. Every picture is a different home. Every picture is a different home where they're meeting. This is just this week. Every picture you see is a different home. It's crazy. When I was 8 months old, my mom and dad, missionaries to Argentina. When I was 8 months old, they were fully appointed as missionaries, and my life was completely overseas. I was there from 8 months old to almost 18. I was 2 months shy of 18 when I came back to the States to go to Indiana Bible College. Growing up on the mission field, different culture, different burden, different passion, different experiences, I kind of always felt like I was going to go back to the mission field. General conference in San Antonio during the home mission service at that time, I went up to the altar and I just broke. I couldn't get out of my heart what I was feeling, and I remember my dad come up and he put his arm around me and he said, "Ryan, maybe what God has for you is not through foreign missions. Maybe what God has for you is through home missions." I had never considered that. I completely and totally understand now why God did what he did, because this is a mission field. This is a total mission field. So I thought I wasn't going to be a missionary, but I'm definitely a missionary.
Si usted lo cree, grita aleluya. Vamos más fuerte si usted lo cree, grita aleluya. Aleluya. Deme un high five a alguien a su lado y dígale, lo vamos a lograr en el nombre de Jesús.
Behind me is our house that was a miracle house for us to be able to get in December of 2004. At that point in time, we fit 30, 40 chairs in here, and we had church for a couple weeks right in this house. So this is the first place of Iglesia La Roca de Hollywood, right here. You know, we were here for 4 years, had great revival. When we moved in here, we had maybe about 140 people, and when we moved out, we were getting close to about 300. Behind us, you'll see there's a Muslim mosque here. It's called the Darul Uloom Institute. Well, when we moved in here, the fire marshal, when he came to inspect the building, said, "Do you know where you moved into?" I said, "No." And he said, "Well, you don't know who's next to you?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, that's the mosque that the 9/11 pilots went to when they were learning how to fly the airplanes to wreck into the towers." Muhammad Atta himself went to this mosque. It's very, very radical mosque. So we were here for 4 years right next to him, and we had tremendous revival. I had Christians ask me, "Well, doesn't it affect you? I mean, is it heavy?" And I said, "No, we're full of the Holy Ghost." Next door to us here, they put out their mats and they were praying. And our people were here, and they decided, well, if they're going to pray out here, we might not be able to get in. We're going to pray out here too. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, there was a Holy Ghost showdown right here. They were praying next door, doing their traditional prayers, and our people were literally walking along here talking in tongues. I'll never forget one time the son of the imam, he came over to me and he said, "I really like your worship." And I didn't understand it, but they don't use music. They don't praise and worship like we do. And I told him, I said, "What you're feeling is not the music, you're feeling the Holy Ghost." This is our old baptistry. Oh man. Pastor Hannibal over at Cooper City, the Pentecost Cooper City. They got a new baptistry, and so they got rid of the old one, and we had moved into this place, and so they gave us this. All the dirt from the sins washed away.
Yes, sir.
This saw a lot of souls. Oh, cool, man. I started analyzing the effectivity, how effective it is what we do as church. We're very department driven, we're very event driven. We do everything to try and get people to come, so we preach to them. Jesus did not tell us to get them to come and then we'll preach to them. He said, go and preach. The way to attack this is so different. Our cell groups are not support groups. Our cell groups are 100% evangelistic. So our cell group leaders, they do the coolest things. They'll go knock on the doors of their neighbors and they'll find out when their birthdays are, the kids' birthdays are. They'll go buy a cake ahead of time. And then they'll come back and they'll tell their neighbors, they'll say, hey, we've got a birthday cake for you tonight at our group. It's already bought and paid for. It's already got your name on it. And so they're not going to say no. And so we have every week now 50 points of entry to the church. If you count our daughter churches, we have over 75 points of entry. Anybody can be a cell group leader, because the primary requisite for a cell group leader is not to be a good teacher or a preacher. I had to learn that. The primary prerequisite to be a good cell group leader is you got to love souls. We're listening to our radio here, 106.3. This is our FM radio, The Rock Church. And it's covering the whole county of Broward, so probably about 1 million people. All of the equipment that's in here, all of the electric that had to be run, the antenna, the tower, the engineer. Radio is an effective outreach tool. People that listen to radio are mobile. They're in their cars, they're go-getters, they drive. Their mode, their mentality when they're listening to the radio is to go. TV mentality is to sit. It's not a go mentality, it's a stay mentality. So radio, and especially with Spanish people, is very effective. If I think that we're going to reach everybody with one location, that's insane. I'm never going to be able to do that. God's got to give us manpower so that we can put people all around our city. And that's how we're going to reach. How are we going to reach millions of people? We can't do it with one building. We can do it in 1,000 homes. You know, we can reach people that way. And that's what pushes me. What drives me is really what drives me is where's the next place we're going to put a rock church, you know, to reach out to the community. And that's what it's all about. That's what keeps us going.